Tonight, Jamaica recorded 161 new cases of COVID-19 and 6 new virus-related deaths yesterday, bringing the total number of deaths to 682 and the total number of confirmed cases to 42,924. Due to the high demand for the COVID-19 vaccine, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has advised that the following blitz sites have reached their capacity for today. Education Minister Favour Williams is urging all educators to take advantage of the Health Ministry's vaccination blitz, as it will play a big part in the government's efforts to fully resume face-to-face classes in September.
We want the entire cohort of teachers to be vaccinated because we want to ensure that all our doors at all our schools are open for September 2021.
2 men have been charged for the murder of teacher Natalie Dawkins.
Coming out of the investigation, the police arrested and charged Eladio Goldburn, OC LJ and Shortman, 20 years old, laborer of Sandy Bay District, and Marlio Edley, OC Marlio, 19 years old, laborer of Palmer's Cross District, Clarendon.
And Scotiabank presented a donation of $2 million that will assist the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation.
We recognize that there's a great need to support women, particularly at this time. We believe that through this donation we can positively impact the lives of these young women as well as their children and family.
Good evening. In COVID-19 updates, Jamaica recorded 161 new cases of COVID-19 and 6 new virus-related deaths yesterday, bringing the total number of deaths to 682 and the total number of confirmed cases to 42,924. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the 6 deaths included 5 people from St. Elizabeth, an 88-year-old woman, a 79-year-old woman, a 41-year-old woman, a 76-year-old man, and a 49-year-old man. A 66-year-old man from Manchester also died. Of the 161 newly reported cases, there were 79 females and 82 males with ages ranging from 2 years old to 96 years old. The cases were reported in Kingston and St. Andrew with 37, St. Thomas 29, St. Mary 20, St. Catherine 14, St. Anne 11, Clarendon and St. James 10 each, Westmoreland, Portland 8 each, Hanover 6, Trelawney 5 and Manchester 3. The country also recorded 119 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 19,136. Due to the high demand for the COVID-19 vaccine, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has advised that the following blitz sites have reached their capacity for today: the National Arena in Kingston, Manchester High School, Sandals in Kent Avenue, St. James, and all locations in Westmoreland. For other locations, priority will be given to appointments. Walk-ins are not likely to get vaccinated today, the ministry said. The ministry noted that those people who are not vaccinated today will be able to participate in the next blitz, which will be announced soon. Education Minister Favour Williams is urging all educators to take advantage of the Health Ministry's Vaccination Blitz initiative, as it will play a big part in the government's efforts to fully resume face-to-face classes in September. Minister Williams was speaking during the Education Ministry's Information Virtual Sensitization session on the vaccination of teachers and other education stakeholders.
We want the entire cohort of teachers to be vaccinated because we want to ensure that all our doors at all our schools are open for September 2021. You are an important group in the Jamaican society, and we want to ensure that you are in the very best of health as you continue to serve our children. I know you're doing that in the virtual space now, but face to face, if we continue on this trajectory in terms of vaccination, will be in the very near future.
Last month, Minister Williams ordered a suspension of face-to-face classes except for students preparing for exit exams. Since then, she says the ministry has received no further notification from schools of any confirmed or suspected case of the virus.
So far, as of March 22nd, when we suspended face-to-face classes, we have had no further reports from schools indicating incidents of confirmed or suspected COVID-19 cases. At that time, March 22nd, 134 schools had reported confirmed or suspected cases across all 7 regions. When we look at the confirmed cases of the 172, 92 were students and 80 were staff. Suspected cases, 189, of which 91 were students and 85 were staff.
The opposition spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Maurice Guy, yesterday says the opposition rejects any attempt by the government to use expired AstraZeneca vaccines and is calling on the minister not to pursue any plan to seek authorization from the World Health Organization and the manufacturer for use after today's April 13 expiration date. Dr. Guy, in a statement, reminded the government that the European Medical Agency, in a publication on January 29, specifically warned against the use of coronavirus vaccines after expiry dates. He said due to the nature of formulations in drugs, they are not to be used after their expiration, and this regime must be more rigorously adhered to for vaccines. The opposition spokesman says the use of the expired vaccines could expose the Jamaican population to health risks, and consequently the opposition is not in agreement with this plan. He further noted that some vaccine manufacturers were already seeking indemnities from governments for use of the vaccines. He said there already is a vaccine hesitancy in Jamaica, and the government's handling of this issue will only serve to heighten skepticism. Director of Family Health Services at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Mello is assuring the public that the coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine does not impair or impede the body's immune system to fight other illnesses. Speaking in a recent interview, Dr. Ennis explained that the vaccine operates to generate antibodies that are specific to a particular disease entity. Dr. Ennis, in highlighting the ingredients of the vaccine, said that these include the adenoviral vector, which is an adenovirus. And for persons who are concerned about infertility being a side effect of the vaccine, Dr. Ennis assured that, quote, "There is nothing in the makeup of the vaccine in the ingredients at all that could in any way affect one's ability to reproduce," end quote. The Family Health Director also pointed out that there is no evidence to suggest that vaccines in the past have caused infertility. She noted that, in fact, there are persons who were involved in the phases 1 and 2 vaccine trials who have since become pregnant. A man has been arrested for the alleged fatal shooting of his son and business partner, Ruel Knight, at their establishment. That establishment is the Knight's Meat and Food Distribution on Gordontown Road in St. Andrew. The incident happened about 10 a.m. yesterday morning. Knight, a Jamaica College past student and former Manning Cup player, was found lying face down in a pool of blood. It was later discovered that he had gunshot wounds to the chest and was rushed to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The Constabulary's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, says that his father was subsequently arrested at the business place. 2 men have been charged for the murder of teacher Natalie Dawkins. Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, said the men were charged today.
Coming out of the investigation, the police arrested and charged Eladio, Goldburn, OC LJ and Shortman, 20 years old, laborer of Sandy Bay District, and Marlio Edley, OC Marlio, 19 years old, laborer of Palmer's Cross District, Clarendon. Both persons were jointly charged with murder, burglary, robbery with aggravation, abduction, illegal possession of firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, and unauthorized access to identity information. The matter will be placed before court shortly.
Mr. Bailey said the men confessed to the murder.
It is to be noted that several items that were stolen from Miss Dawkins were recovered by the police. Among the items recovered was her ATM card, and we have identified valuable evidence to indicate that $60,000 were withdrawn via the ATM machine by the two accused who were charged. Investigation continues, and I must say that we have a very strong case against both accused who actually confessed to the killing of Miss Dawkins.
Dawkins' body was found in a shallow grave in the Sandy Bay area of Clarendon on April 8. Their court dates are being finalized. The Jamaica Labour Party JLP in a statement yesterday said that it takes note of reports in the public domain that party member and Member of Parliament George Wright is being sought by the police in connection with an alleged incident of assault. Acting on the instruction of party leader and Prime Minister Andrew Holness, JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang has asked the party member and Member of Parliament to immediately make himself available to the police, which are investigating the matter. Dr. Chang says even as it pays close attention to developments concerning the matter, the JLP is treating the issue very seriously. The JLP General Secretary says if there is confirmation that the party member and MP conducted himself as is being alleged, the consequences will be swift. Dr. Chang says the JLP stands by its message of respect and regard for women. The General Secretary said that there is no place in the JLP for any individual who abuses or attacks anyone, in particular women. And the People's National Party PNP Youth Organization PNPYO is demanding the immediate resignation of Central Westmoreland Member of Parliament George Wright, following this alleged confirmation from the police that he is the perpetrator caught on video violently assaulting a female companion. President of the PNPYO Crystal Tomlinson said, quote, Mr. Wright has violated the public trust in a disgusting display of violence. There is no seat, space, room for him in the People's House, and he must resign immediately, end quote. Ms. Tomlinson went on to say that the lack of restraint displayed in the, quote, violent video and the absence of remorse that led Mr. Wright to file a complaint against his victim leave no room for public sympathy, end quote. And also that Mr. Wright must be asked to resign by the leader of his parliamentary caucus, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. She added that he should be offered no safe haven and that the police must be allowed to do their job without any political interference or intimidation. She also notes they expect the government to offer no roadblocks to the investigations. In other news, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, has garnered sub-franchise operators until May 14, 2021 to pay their road license fees following consultation with the Minister of Transport and Mining, Robert Montague. The fees became due on March 31. Corporate Communications Manager Cessa Toms said, quote, we are mindful of the impact that COVID-19 has had on the operations of the transport sector, and we felt it was important to signal to our stakeholders that we are in this together, end quote. Mr. Toms said sub-franchise operators will not only be given an extension, but that they will also benefit from a 15% discount in fees. The JUTC also reminds sub-franchise operators to clear outstanding balances to be able to renew their road licenses. In the meantime, the Corporate Communications Manager is encouraging transport operators to get vaccinated by registering on the online portal of the Ministry of Health and Wellness at www.moh.gov.jm or call the National Vaccination Hotline at 888-1LOVE, that is 888-663-5683. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories, with Scotiabank presenting a donation of $2 million that will assist the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation, and also that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is urging job seekers, especially young adults, to ensure employment agencies are legitimate companies before engaging in any business with them. But first, let's take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.